Create Art Podcast. Project NaPoWriMo, otherwise known as National Poetry Writing Month. Hello, friends. This is Timothy Chemo Bryan, your head instigator for Create Art Podcast, where I bring my 20 plus years of experience in the arts and education world to help you tame your inner critic and create more than you consume. So this month is National Poetry Writing Month. Happens every April. And National Poetry Writing Month is known as NaPoWriMo, and it's a creative writing project. And what they do is they give you prompts. If you go to the NaPoWriMo website at napowrimo.net, and they'll give you 30 prompts for the 30 days in April. Now, on the website, you can also interact with other people. This year is going to be different from the previous years that I've done this project. This year, I'm going to be writing poetry throughout the year, and I am following a different prompt than the one that the National Poetry Writing Month folks do. Now, I've been doing poetry since 1988. I know for a lot of people here, they're like, whoa, the 1900s. But I've been doing it for a long time. I've been writing poetry for a long time and performing my poetry. So this year, like I said, I'm going to be writing all throughout the year. And the blog that I'm using is called Think Written. And the links for that will be in the show notes. I'm also going to be performing these works at Katura Coffee House here in Fredericksburg, Virginia, on their Friday Night Snaps open mic poetry reading. You'll have a link for that, again, in the show notes. And a lot of people, they ask me, hey, Tim, why do you do this to yourself every year? And my answer to that is, if I'm going to ask you to be, taming your inner critic and creating things, then I need to be doing it too, right alongside you. So that's why this year I'm doing it a little bit different, but I will be interacting with the poets there on the NaPoWriMo site, and we'll see how this goes. I'm pretty excited to be doing it this way. So the prompt for today's poem is write a poem about something that will always be out of reach. And this one is called Penetration. I look into your eyes. Those pools of blue are so like mine. Every morning I ask the same question, wanting to know what's going on behind the window. Your voice repeats things that your mother was too young to know about. There was no way you would have heard those words and phrases from me. I've done my best to try and forget the person who originally uttered them. But you can pick her out of a crowded picture from 1979. I want to save you the anguish she knew and caused. I couldn't save her in the end. And it was a tragic end. Relying on everything being provided by the one who molested your children, cheated on you with the church secretary, demanded that we all attend church 5 times a week, knowing what we knew, being the embarrassment of the congregation. I've taught my child to say fuck you to the president, to put a middle finger up to the patriarchy and systemic racism. When they try to grab her by the pussy, she knows that she is to not stop stabbing until the knife will not come out of her attacker's chest, groin, brain, and heart. She is to use the knives my mother chased my brother and I around the house with, screaming that we were possessed and that she would be taking the demons from our souls, even if it killed us. My daughter knows how to slay the demons of Diablo, 1, 2, and 3. and those who put on the skin of humans. She knows how to use her words to stab my heart. My gift to her was anger. My gift to her was rage, and she knows how to wield it. I have no need to interrogate the people she will bring to our house, nor will I clean a rifle or chainsaw in their presence, unless I'm actually doing lawn work. I have no need to intimidate in order to protect her. She can take care of herself, and if the task is too large, she knows she can bring me in to finish. And here we are. Another screaming match with her mother. She is doing her best to look intimidating, her brow flexed, her gaze intense into my eyes, her breath shallow and quick. And just as she cannot decipher my demeanor, she has no idea that I'm actually in control of the situation just by sitting here quietly, motionlessly, without emotion. She ponders how I can exude so much unfeeling, such detachment from humanity. She doesn't know that I am scanning her for a crack, a chink in her armor that I helped forge, a way to see into her inner workings, her deep thoughts, the dreams that she refuses to elaborate on. She won't know until she reads this, and even that would be a stroke of luck, if she finds it and realizes it's about her. She's a bit too much like her long-dead grandmother, and I am ignorant of my obscure grandfather. No, there will be no repeating of NNB. I wish a reflection of my mother of choice. For now, I will stand by, looking deep into the eyes of my child, attempting to peer into her soul, attempting to steer her away from the paths we have generationally tread. All right, so that was my poem for this day for National Poetry Writing Month. I hope you enjoyed it. You can go right to the website, createartpodcast.com, and you can go ahead and comment right there in the comment section if you like. Now, something I'd like to ask you is, if you enjoyed it, shoot me an email, timothy@createartpodcast.com. I want to hear about your journey, and I want to hear about what you're working on. And if you'd like to be on the show, or, would like to discuss a topic that's giving you trouble, well, then go ahead and email me. Let's start that conversation. I also want to let you know about another podcast that I do, and that one is called Find a Podcast About, and that's where I help you find your next binge-worthy podcast and outsmart that algorithm. You can find that podcast at findapodcastabout.xyz. Last thing I'd like to say here is, if you found value in the show, let me know. Pass it on to a friend. If you have ideas on what I could do better to make this a 5-star podcast, I want to hear about those too. I want to be helping you with your art, to be bold with your art, as I do it right beside you. I'll see you next time.